TGIF. I hope everyone has a good weekend. I'm looking forward to it. A little relaxation, some puttering around in the shop. I just want to reiterate that this channel, I focus on the new guy, the newbie, the home machine shop, mini mills, mini lathes, and so on. So if you're a big machine shop, you're another YouTube channel, or you're a professional, you're welcome to watch the channel, subscribe to it, but don't expect me to make a Boeing 747 in here or turn a giant car axle. So this, in response to addressing the new guy, I just finished yesterday a bunch of private emails helping somebody out. He bought the mini lathe and the mini mill. Actually, his mini mill is a little bit bigger, but I'll get into that. And yeah, wanted to know which end mills I showed from Travers. Can I send a part number? And I did. Unfortunately, he bought the Harbor Freight 1/4 inch indexable set. And yeah, he, like me, said, yeah, it's okay, but he wanted better finishes. So I wanted to know what I use, and I'm sure he's out there buying the Anytime Tools 3/8 set. And I sent him a list of all the inserts that I use and what I use them on, because he wanted to get the same finishes as I did. He says they're fantastic. He's watching all the videos. He's also going to make one of the fly cutters that he downloaded the print. So, but the curious thing is he bought the Grizzly G0759, which is a pretty big mill. $1,800. It's got a gorgeous DRO on it. So I took the opportunity to ask him a few questions. The back of it looks like there's just 4 bolts holding the column on. There's no tilt. So I asked him, you have any problems tramming it? And he says no. So I guess you can tram it forward and sideways somehow easily. I had asked him, did it use a spring or air pistons? And he says it doesn't use either. So I'm not sure what it's using for the head to compensate the weight. And what else did I ask him? Oh, is it a belt drive? And he said no. I was surprised for that price tag. But he did say he was going to upgrade it, and I'm not sure if there is a kit for that. He must have done all of his homework. But alright, so enough on that. This video is going to be showing you guys how I make a high-speed steel cutter from a blank on the new grinding station that I showed in the last video. So hope you guys enjoy it. First, pick up some high-speed steel blanks. The sources, they can be found in a lot of different places. I've found them on Amazon, eBay, flea markets. Where else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. But even Harbor Freight has a nice assortment set, and a bunch of them I've picked up off of eBay. $4 to $5 a piece is kind of the best price tag I've found for them. And I like getting pre-ground, which means they've already got this angle cut on them, and that saves a lot of time because that's quite a bit of material that's been removed, and they do a nice job on it too, however they do it. Yeah, I started with 3/8 because all of my insert holders are 3/8, and I learned real quick that's a lot of material to remove when you're trying to cut it. So hindsight, I should have started with the little Harbor Freight. As I learned, this is what, 3/16, but I think they have a 5/16 in there, and that's what I'm primarily using now for final product, is 5/16. So next, you need to get something to hold it in, and out comes the Toolmaker's Vise. And like I said, this one came off of eBay. It was I think it was $25, $30 something, and it's the luck of the draw. I did check the whole thing out, and it's within spec. It's within 2/10 of a thou on all surfaces. So yeah, that came out great. But now to hold the blank, there's a lot of different ways you can do the angles. Most of the stuff I've read says you're supposed to have like 7 degrees this way, and back and forth. So you can set that a lot of different ways. For this one, I'll explain what I'm doing or why I'm setting it that way, but you can use this guy because you can easily set it this way, hold it in there, and then just clamp it down. But this was luck of the draw. This guy was $25 off of eBay out of China, and I wasn't completely that lucky with it. You can see it's in the camera view here, but I'll show you a little bit of this, bring it down, ways to go. And this is the mid-tutorial, so from 0 to 1 is 1/1000 of an inch, so this is reading tenths, really easy. And with this guy, you don't want to really bounce the needle because you'll get different readings, so you got to come on slowly. Ignore what I say because I'm trying to read the needle at an angle. So stop the video, read it yourself. That's 6.5. Right? Am I going to get this consistently? Yep, 6.5. So this guy here, that's way off. Which 6.5 was that? I think that was just over 1,000. Yeah. So that's 1.65. That's 2/1. 2,000th and a tenth. 2,000th and a tenth. And as far as being flat, that's under by 1, 2, 3/10. This was 1/6 here. And that's under by 1.5/10. So is this thing flat or angle accurate? I do have the, let me bring it out. This is the description from the website. The angle was supposed to be within 10 minutes, which is 0.166 degrees. So it's not even close as far as the angle, because what I haven't shown you is that this is set at 1 degree. I went under the 10x stereoscope and lined it up for 0 degrees, and then measured it way off. I'm just a tad over 1 degrees to be getting these kind of measurements where it's kind of flat. Again, $25. I don't know if this really matters. If I want 10 degrees, I'll set it for 11. But for this shop, this is good enough. I'm not doing anything super critical with it at this point. But also on this surface, they're saying that the surface is supposed to be about 4/10. Oh, this is not even close. I checked all the other surfaces. I'm not going to show it, but they're pretty good. They're pretty close to spec. But this one, luck of the draw, something got really messed up with this surface. Oh, there's a thou. Go off of it, go back on, should be right back. Yep, about a thou. But you walk in, it's like all over the place here, side to side. Side to side is not too bad, actually. Well, no, it's moving about a half. But I mean, it's just no. But this surface doesn't count really. All of these other surfaces and square. I put a gauge block here. It's nice and square as far as the eyeball can tell. So, setting the angle, you can use a lot of different things, but what I did was I just brought out my square. Where is it? Because this guy is pre-ground, and I don't want to be removing a whole lot of material, and I don't think the relief angle is that critical. At least I haven't found it being that critical. All I did was just visually mess with it until it looked like it was nice and square, so that I'll be just kind of matching this face. I won't be taking off a whole lot of material. So let's go over to the grinder and set it up. Lighting may not be that great.
I hope it is. I've got the shop door, garage door closed because I know there's going to be a lot of street noise right now. The table, as you can see, I did finish it up, made some knobs here, nice little stainless steel cap screws recessed in there. Made some T-nuts, made 4 T-nuts, 1032 screws, so it matches all the clamps that I have for the mini pallet for the mill. But I did have to take this thing completely apart again because I was using it and I could see it rocking this way, both from Gibbs here and the other Y-axis gib. Gib was the same problem that I had mentioned a long time ago in a video on the compound, on the mini lathe, where the gib, they did a drill hole where it's a funnel, and the gib screw just keeps falling in the same spot. So the gibs were put in the mill, and end mill was put in there and just plunged straight down, getting rid of the funnel until I had a nice flat surface, and immediately cleaned it up. Had to do a little bit of lapping on the gib because this is aluminum and I didn't want to put the lapping compound in there, but there's like nothing here. I can't move it at all. It's easy to crank with the knobs, so it's beautiful. So enough said on the table. For this guy, alright, we're set at the angle. Now to set this angle, oh, I did put this wheel back on, because rather than risking wearing out the diamond wheel, I figured, you know, this is a lot of material I'm going to be removing. So I just want to set it for 7 degrees. It's, oops, I gotta go this way, right? Yeah, I gotta go this way. Yeah, that's going to be enough of clearance. So, because I can, oh yeah, I want to take the table in a little bit closer to the wheel. So you can use all kinds of different ways to set this for whatever degrees that you want, and then just use the clamps to hold it down. Alright, got it flipped around so the vise isn't that close to the grinding wheel. And this is a guy that I made a long time ago, just freehanding it on the grinding wheel. But I like the angle, so I want to kind of duplicate that. Alright, so that's about it right there. And just bring this guy in, clamp it down. Put this guy in here, clamp the other side. Back it up a little bit. Make sure everybody's nice and tight so it doesn't move around. Alright, so nothing's moving. Bring it in until it just starts hitting. Hot yet? Probably not, but that small surface. Alright, so 2 things to note about this. One is it gets hot. And there's no way to really, this is not hot yet, but no way to really cool it. So when it starts getting to serious surfaces, you just make 1, maybe 2 swipes, shut it down, walk away until it cools off, because you don't want to get it hot enough where you see blue. The other one is on the counter here. I can feel grit from the grinding wheel that's coming off. Doesn't look like much wear. But you don't want to do this someplace like around your lathe or your mill or anything that's got oil, because you're going to have grit all over the place. So I'll just go back and forth here until this is done and then bring you guys back. I'm about 50% in on the face. So now, yeah, after one or two passes, it gets hot enough that it will burn your finger. Yep, that's pretty hot. I just wanted to add a note here on adjusting the Gibbs screws. The late screw was disengaged, so I'm just sliding it by hand, feeling the friction as I do each one and feeling the play. And I had it pretty tight by hand, but when I put in the lead screw, like, wow, that's really easy to move, so I tightened them up further. And I know the more I use this table, the more it's going to break in and become really smooth. So just wanted to update that. Just for fun, why not? Zoom in. Kind of wish I could get the camera back behind so you can see what the finish looks like, but it's coming along. It's not too long. It didn't take too long, about 3 hours, maybe 50, 60 passes. But it's funny because the wheel's going that way and I can feel a ridge on here. My fingernail stops. So let me change out the wheel. Oh, and there's black stuff all over the place. This stuff, if I hit that with compressed air, it comes right out of the wheel. So I ran it a bunch of times, so it's almost stopped grinding. But just for fun, let me put the other wheel on here. Take that off. Put this guy goes on here first. Oh, wrong way. That guy goes on there. Yeah, I used to use just one. Everything's in the way. Move out of the way. Oh man, yeah, the black junk is all in the grease here, in the ways. So that's going to need to be cleaned up. And the finish on this looks really good with just a regular magnifying glass. So I'm not sure what this is going to do, but let's see just for fun. Whoop, wrong way. Out. Gotta come out, over. Alright, how's this going to spin? Good. The vibration, but not that much. Alright, go in there until it hits. Curious to see what that looks like. Yeah, there's a lot of vibration in that wheel. That's ridiculous. Wow. Mirror finish. Is the ridge gone? No, ridge is still there. Alright, I'm just going to mess with this a few more times and then I'll bring you back. Alright, done. So let's break it free and hopefully you guys might be able to see the finish on that guy. There's that. Yeah, just take him out. But there it is. Pretty nice. I probably should have gone a little bit further with it because I can see here's some lines in it. But the ridge is still there. But that gets honed off. So now for the next step, this one, you can see the angle, it's cut here because this guy is now going to start turning, and so I need a little bit of relief here. These, this one and the one I'm going to show you next, were just kind of hand done. This one, you can see it just goes to the point. This does a pretty good job. This one, for some reason, does a much better job. And it's all dirty, so you can't really see. I mean, I just barely kissed the point on it. So, alright, there's the setup. Precision Vise comes out again. The tool holders for the A2Z that I made were deeper, so they didn't go into this vise. but the original ones are skinnier this way, so it fit. It's clamped on this, and it's also clamping on the blank. I've got just eyeballing an angle here, and the drill bit's under here, so I'm angled this way and I'm tilted. So let's see what happens here. Alright, I'm gonna make sure I'm hitting the bottom first. I'm hitting the bottom, huh? There it is. Alright, well, this is just a whole lot of back and forth until I just start touching that top tip. And I'm just kind of listening and watching the very peak of it to see that it's grinding to the very end. I think that was, I'm just going to do one more pass. I think it still is grinding up to the very tip. Yeah, definitely about the tip. So, if I look at it with a magnifying glass, yeah, get a flashlight to boot and make sure what I'm looking at here. Oh yeah, it's definitely got it nice. Alright, so I'll let you guys see what this looks like. Get rid of that. Break it loose. Okay. Drill bit comes out. That. Getting it out of the way. So there it is. Wow, that's pretty good. Lines in it, but I guess that's the table isn't really that super duper. So now I think I'm just gonna hone this and get the radius on the tip and just see how it works right now. But that's pretty nice. I like that. Well, there's the setup for cutting the relief. I'll walk in front of the camera. I had the diamond wheel on there. It just was not cutting fast enough, so I had put a link to this wheel, which is a CBN diamond wheel. That was what, $13–14. This was $20, and this is taking it off a lot faster. It's also a lot better machining. I mean, you can see this surface in here. It's the same on the back, as opposed to this kind of mess that there is. So the vibrations are even a lot less on this guy. So this is going to be a while. I've got it tilted that way slightly to cut the relief angle here. Not sure if it's getting hot or not. Doesn't feel like it. So this is going to be a while to do this, and then I'll just take it out and I'll hone it to death and then show you guys the final product. Alright, over here, I just want to hone it, kind of see how it works as is. There's that side piece. I'm not sure if you can see. Top, of course, isn't done, and then the face of it. So, diamond guy, let's put some oil on it here. Come on. There we go. Alright. So I want to just give it a round here. Not easy doing it by hand. See what that looks like. Yep, that's a pretty good round. Alright. Just clean up the top because it had burrs on it.
Sweetie. That's all it takes, folks. You can see that took right into it. So this corner is real sharp. So let's take it over to the lathe, check it on brass, which is going to be real easy. Let's see what it's going to do. Clean that up, black comes off. Alright, clean. Yeah, I know this is going to give weird lighting, but there it is. And I can't stress honing enough, but the relief is put in it. I'm a few thousandths below center, but I just wanted to show what this thing can do. This is aluminum. Just beautiful curls coming off of it. Let's try the face a little bit here. See what we can do, and then we'll switch out to some other stuff. Wow, that's really out of round, huh? Yeah, still. There we go. So the finish is pretty nice. It's not as good as the Cobra Carbide inserts, but I still didn't go all the way. But let's try it on brass. See what it does here, even though it's got the relief. Brass. Here's a piece of brass, 3/8. Pretty nasty looking finish on it. Alright, bring it over. Bring it back a little more, mark it down. So it seems to be doing brass pretty good here. Not that high in RPM. Typical brass just kind of explodes off the cutter. There it is. That's a gorgeous finish. No lines in it. Nothing. Yeah, beautiful finish. Super smooth. Let's try some steel on it, but there's the finish on brass. And 12L, where are we? There's 12L, and if you can turn 12L nicely, then you can turn anything. So, that's a nasty looking finish with lines in it. Alright, let's see what you're going to do on this. This takes it right off. There's a little bit of lines in here. Yeah, not as straight. But then again, it's 12L. It's just shaving it. Let me take a deep cut. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Not great, but... So... A little oil always changes the look of the finish. There. Yeah. That looks a lot better. There's 12L. So it's guys cutting everything under the sun. I might do just a little bit more honing. But let's try some stainless steel here and see what happens. Stainless steel loves to be touched with high-speed steel. Alright, put a little lubrication on it. And I'm using just pure soluble oil for this. Clean off the cutter. Yeah, it's about good enough. Lock it down. Oh, you guys can't even see the very tip of this. Whoop, wrong way. Alright, move the camera a little bit. And here we go. RPM is pretty low on this right now. Smoking it up. That looks pretty good, well. 3,000's cut. Curls it right off. Beautiful finish. Clean it up a bit here. So there's stainless. That came out excellent. It's got stuff on the end of it, but let me take that out and show. Okay, bangs right into it. On out, and there's the stainless. Just beautiful finish on it. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching making the cutter. If I can break it free here. Clean it up a little bit so you guys can see it all. Am I in the camera? Yeah. So there's the front, whoops, relief, top relief, and then the other side relief on it. So it's easy to do. Just get to work.